Hi, smart sleepers. Happy Thursday. I have something I want to share with you today, and it is about how your hormones affect sleep. Because every single one of my clients has hormone issues. So I would say that every single person who struggles to sleep has hormone issues. Some hormones might be too high, some are too low, but either way, they feel like crap, and hormones are a big part of the problem. Now, when we talk about hormones, I think, especially for women, we tend to think of estrogen and progesterone. And definitely low estrogen, low progesterone, even high estrogen can cause sleep problems. So it's definitely one of the things that we want to look at if you aren't sleeping. Low testosterone can explain why you have no energy. So even for women, we still need to have a fair amount of testosterone. And melatonin, we all have heard about, I'm sure. That's an important hormone to look at for sleep too. I think most people aren't actually deficient in it, and it's not the reason they aren't sleeping. But I do see sometimes that people do have really low melatonin, and so that's when supplementing with very small doses can help. But when I talk about hormones, I'm mainly talking about cortisol. So this is our stress hormone. If you're getting chased by a bear in the mountains, your body releases cortisol and other hormones to help you run from or fight that bear. So it increases your heart rate and your blood pressure, and it moves blood flow away from your central organs and digestion into your extremities so that you have quick energy to run or fight. So, but our bodies still have that same reaction. Cortisol is still released, even if you don't need to survive something, even if it's just rushing around, being busy all the time, or getting in a fight with your spouse, or running late and sitting in traffic. So all of those stressors cause cortisol to be released too. And so our body still has that same physical response. Now, one of the main reasons why people can't sleep is because cortisol is too high at night. And so this is either at bedtime or in the middle of the night or both. But high cortisol is a major cause of your insomnia. Or maybe cortisol levels are too low, and especially at certain points in the day, and that's why you're so tired all the time. And then once your body releases cortisol all the time, and eventually it can't do that as much anymore, then your body starts releasing adrenaline instead of cortisol. And so that's what can cause like the rapid heartbeat and the waking up in a panic and things like that, because your body is under stress, but it doesn't have enough cortisol, so it releases adrenaline. Sometimes too, I mean, definitely see cortisol fluctuating throughout the day and night. So it's supposed to have this predictable pattern of being lowest when you first wake up, and then it spikes really to its highest point shortly after waking up, and then it slowly diminishes throughout the day. And so it should be a gradual decline. And if it's not looking like that, if say it's more of a flat line or it's up and down throughout the day, then that's definitely a sign that things are fluctuating, and that is causing you to feel wired sometimes, tired other times, and possibly not be able to sleep. So, like I said, hormones are a big part of it. And once your hormones start getting out of whack, then the other systems of your body start to deteriorate too. So which systems go first is different for everyone because we're all different. We all have genetic weak links. And so that's also why some of us get insomnia, when our bodies start getting out of balance, and other people don't. Other people have other issues. But for us, we get insomnia. And so that's a sign that things are getting out of balance. And those hormones might be the first thing to go. They might be getting out of balance because of other things happening in the body. So it's really, complex, and it doesn't necessarily matter what came first and what came second. That's why I do all the tests I do to find out what's going on in all the systems of your body so that we can start correcting those things. And not necessarily in a certain order. It's going to be different for everyone. So the only way to fix your hormones is to find out for sure what's going on. So I believe in testing instead of guessing. Yes, you can start trying. You can say, oh, my cortisol is too high. I'm going to start taking some supplements. Um, but if you don't know that for sure, they could do more harm than good. So that's why I definitely test, and I use what's called the Dutch hormone test. It's a dried urine test. It's pretty easy to do, and you take multiple samples throughout a 24-hour period. So we are getting your pattern, your circadian rhythm pattern of what's going on. And it also gives tons of information about your hormones, and it shows how they're being used in the body. So some people, for example, their bodies are making plenty of cortisol, their adrenal glands are, but then it's being processed too quickly or metabolized too quickly, and so their body isn't actually able to use it. And so this test will show what's happening. And so a lot of times, what we call adrenal fatigue and all those symptoms actually have nothing to do with the adrenal glands. So they're more the hypothalamus, the pituitary, and the adrenals are all connected, and things can go wrong at any step of the way in that system. And so most of the time, the problem is not that the adrenals can't make cortisol, it's many other reasons completely. So, yeah, so that's why this test is so cool, because it also shows how things are being used in the body. And so we can find out, when things are out of whack, why that is, and we can fix it. Now, again, I said all of my clients have hormone issues, but they're all different. And so the way we get things back in balance is different every time. Not everyone has, high estrogen and low testosterone. It can be all over the map with all the different hormones. So that's how my plans are customized for you, based on not only what the test results are showing, but also what you're telling me. Based on you personally, your health history, how you're feeling now, what symptoms you're experiencing now. So all of those things play a part in what I recommend that you take and how to fix things. So if you are not sleeping and you think your hormones have something to do with it, which I can tell you for sure that they do, I just can't predict what that's going to look like exactly for you. But the first step is to schedule a call with me. So feel free to message me and we will set a time up to chat. And I know that this can be a scary thing to do, and that you've tried everything and you've probably lost hope and you've just accepted the fact that you have insomnia. And so it can be hard to believe that anything is going to work. But when we talk, I'm going to explain to you why you can't sleep. I'm going to give you hope that you can fix it. And if you're interested, then we'll talk about what it looks like to work together. Either way, you'll have all the information you need to make the best decision for you. And I know if you aren't sleeping that it's miserable and you would like to figure it out. So I would love to talk to you. Either way, I will see you in the group. Thanks so much for listening.